some news. So for those of you, I know, it's Wonderland. It's Wonderland. Yes, Miguel, right on time. Let's talk about Wonderland. So since we last met, the big news is that Sifu does not want to return to Wonderland. I know there's like a giant proposal. Remember this proposal to return Sifu to Wonderland? I think a lot of people are turning around. They say, all right, since we're already down like 90%, why don't we just get this guy back so we can get our investment back, see if we can do something. If we're down 90%, what's the point, right? Let's get someone so we can get back to 100% or something. No, I don't mean like lose all of it, but try to get this guy back because he seems to know what he's doing. Well, it seems like Sifu doesn't want to go back. He said, unfortunately, I have decided not to return to Wonderland and have asked the team to leave the post in general, not move to RFC. I love my supporters and most of the community, but I am no longer comfortable working here. I'm very sad to say that we can't go back to the way things were, and I had to give up my baby. I will always be the co-founder, and I will remain active in the background on Discord. I am also once again the largest investor, having purchased approximately $12 million worth during the past week. Still seems undervalued. Thank you for all your support. It has been extremely meaningful to me and will always be remembered. So basically he bought $12 million worth of WMemo and said he's one of the largest investors in WMemo. Now, is that a smart move? I think it might be a smart move. So if he did bought like $12 million worth, he's going to be a very large investor. Now what's coming up is we are going to have a rage quit option coming. When that rage quit option passes, we will be able to cash out at our backing price. I think it's probably around 39K or 40K if we're lucky. So if Sifu bought somewhere down here and the rage quit option passes, he's leave his hand clean of this project. That's unfortunately the real thing. I mean, the real take on this. Like, sure, he looks good. Looks like he's still supporting with $12 million worth. But I think he's buying it thinking that we're going to vote. The vote's going to go towards a rage quit option. So he's also been like arguing in my thread. So he's very responsive in my thread here. If you look down, like he's been arguing against this guy on my Twitter. Sifu himself arguing about some guys accusing, again, it's the same people accusing of things without any evidence. So I mean, you can totally read this. There's a lot of nice insights about what he's thinking, but he's really active under my thread. So yeah, suggest you guys take a look. That is, I'll link it in the chat. Yeah. So basically, okay, let's go into the rage quit option. Now, I have not really read this whole thing much, but I want to basically they want to do two phases of this whole thing, how to rage quit. Now, TLDR is they want to find a nice way to find a find a set amount of people who wants to rage quit and then give them their money so they can leave. And then leave the rest to people who wants to continue on and stay in there and continue with this project. It's like a compromise for people who wants to quit and people who don't want to quit. Now, the last poll we did, I think all the whales want to quit. A lot of frogs banded together and say, no, we don't want to quit. And eventually the frogs won. And now this is their latest attempt to try to pay out the whales. That's my opinion. That's what it looks like. Rage quit option. I think the people who wants to quit already left. There might be a few people who are still around and want to be like, I actually want to see what price are they going to pay people out. So I'm not going to sell now. I'm just going to wait for it. Oh, jeez. Sorry, the market's getting wrecked. Anyway, so what is this saying? So they want to lay out a plan and execute the rage quit option to allow WMemo holder exit the DAO at a value that's close to treasury backing. Now, what is the treasury backing? Well, we'll talk about it. The rage quit process consists of two phases. Phase 1, snapshot governance. Phase 2, deployment of rage quit contract. So devs are still working, by the way. So let's go to phase 1, snapshot governance. So how are we going to find the snapshot? How exactly are we going to rage quit the right people? The goal of the first vote is to decide if the community wants to implement a rage quit contract, which allows WMemo holders to enter a whitelist and exit the DAO at a predetermined value. Not sure what this whitelist is. This will allow DAO to decide if a rage quit option should be implemented. So this first part is we have to vote if we want to do a rage quit. It will be the 5.1 WIP. The snapshot will vote for 7 days. After the vote is over, if the result indicates that the DAO wants to implement a rage quit option, liquidity will be pulled and all trading will be halted until the rage quit option implemented. So if we do want to quit, they're going to pull all liquidity out of Sushi, out of Phantom, out of everywhere. You won't be able to buy or sell your WMemo. And they will pull, basically you can't do anything. No one can do anything. Because Wonderland holds the largest liquidity, maybe a small amount of other people can do the liquidity, can trade, but that won't be much. All liquidity will be pulled. So if you look at the 24-hour volume of WMemo, it's $4.6 million. So there's still quite a bit of money in there traded. But 4.6 million is tiny compared to the overall number. The WIP snapshot has to include the backing price of WMemo, which token holders can expect to receive when doing rage quit, with not more than 5-10% variance to this predetermined price. Now I think 5 to 10% variance is pretty huge. Now what does that mean? Variance is basically plus minus 10%. So the price is like $100. The variance of this, let's say the backing price is $100, then the variance could make this price actually become $110 or $90. So it's like a fluctuation of the price. 5-10% is huge. It's quite big, 10%. Now, so that's the first part. Vote to whether we do a rage quit. Now, the second part is a second snapshot vote to rage quit whitelist will be held. This is figuring out how to do the whitelist. The goal of the second vote is to create a whitelist and allow the treasury to prepare the fund to contract according to the amount of WMemo enters the whitelist. This extra data will increase the efficacy of rage quit contract and slower slippage. The rage quit whitelist snapshot vote will last 4 days. WMemo holders who wish to exit their WMemo token and receive their part of the treasury will need to vote yes in the snapshot. By voting yes, your address will be added to the whitelist. Okay. Very important. If you want to be on this whitelist to rage quit, you have to vote and then you'll be on the whitelist. Once the whitelist snapshot is ended, a 48-hour window will allow the development team and multi-sig to assess the result and prepare the treasury for rage quit. So basically, if you vote on this WIP, your address will be part of the whitelist. And when they do figure out that whitelist and they implement a contract to pay people out from the treasury, you will get paid. So think about it. I want you to think about from Sifu's perspective. This is the guy who bought $12 million worth of WMemo for the past week. He has a lot of money in there. He bought it at the low, basically. So if we somehow end up in the 40,000 range for the backing price, he stands to make 50% plus in a few weeks. So think about that. All the whales who bought the low. So how do we do that? Now, what is the point of this? Let's look at it. So second phase is the deployment of rage quit contract. Now, remember, given this is if we all voted to rage quit. At this stage, the development team has already announced the backing price calculation or WMemo. So this is before this one. Now, on this whitelist, the price of WMemo backing price will be announced. Remember, 5 to 10% variance. This price will be announced before you can vote to rage quit. Now, if it's a price that you are satisfied at, you can totally vote for the snapshot and then get your address in the whitelist. If you're not satisfied with it, then you don't have to vote. What's going to happen? No one knows. But if, let's say, they say the backing price is 40K, I think I might vote for it. I just want to get out. Honestly, like I hope it's 40K. So it really depends. Anyway, so deployment of contract. This value together with the whitelist data will be assessed and used to create the rage quit contract. This contract will allow each whitelisted user to exchange their W memo with a predetermined backing price of 10% slippage. Exactly. So this variance is the 10%. Is another word for slippage. So they're going to make a contract and people can rage quit. The rage quit contract will be topped up with the amount needed for the entire whitelist to exit and remain open for 72 hours. After 72 hours, the rage quit contract will be halted and trading of W memo will start again. We are giving the development team a window of 24 hours to adjust the liquidity and resume trading of W memo. Now, I think this is well planned. I actually like what Wonderland's doing now. This is all very well planned, and I like the way they are like giving a timeline on these things. Each individual component of rage quit proposal will be listed in this section of the WP. So here's like a summary of what exactly it's going to do. Now, let's talk about Treasury backing price. The development team is summarizing the Treasury and will present the W memo backing price of 5-10% maximum variance. The detail of the Treasury and how much one W memo is backed by will be released and presented to the website prior to WP5 snapshot. The Treasury consists of liquid and illiquid assets. For users to receive maximum benefit, the illiquid asset will not be added to the backing price since it will create a false. Oh man, jeez. All right, I want to see your reaction. Okay, this is kind of new to me. I haven't really read this part. So the price of the W memo backing price is without the illiquid asset in the Treasury. Oh, that sucks. The BSGG token is considered an illiquid asset and is therefore excluded from the backing price calculation. Keep in mind that some of the Treasury assets are volatile and the backing price can move upward as well as downward. Therefore, the variance of 5% in the backing price is accepted. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because when you provide liquidity, there's impermanent loss as well due to the volatility of crypto. So, yeah, that's a surprise to me. You can't. They're not gonna count illiquid asset as part of the backing price calculation. That means the backing price is gonna be lower. It's not gonna be 40K. What I think it's probably gonna be 35K or less. Oh, that sucks. That sucks real bad. Jeez. Well, that's gonna affect my decision for sure. All right, let's talk about the rage quit contract. After the whitelist vote has been completed, the development team will assess the data and announce the required asset necessary for the whitelist W memo holder to exit. The multi-sig will get the Treasury ready and will start the rage quit process within 48 hours, ending on the whitelist vote. The UI for the rage quit will show each whitelisted W memo address, the capital that can be claimed for the W memo, respecting the 5-10% variance. Each participant will be able to redeem the W memo against the backend. All right. So it's just going to update the website where you can go and claim your money. It's kind of like BSGG. So that's it. That's a lot of. So I'm kind of undecided now. What do you guys like want? Let me do a poll. All right. Are you gonna rage quit? Yes, no. All right, I want to see what you guys think. This is like a bit confusing. I mean, not confusing, but I'm undecided now because I didn't know that they were gonna exclude the illiquid asset from the Treasury to determine the backing price. Oh, man. Yeah, like D-Wave, I understand. Like, if you're already down 90%, what's the point? You want to hold on to it, right? To see the future. Because the problem is, like, right now, the future is a bit uncertain. So what's going to happen? So they're going to pause all trading of W memo during the snapshot process. And then when this whole thing blows over, the Treasury is going to drop. You guys know that, right? When you rage quit, it really depends on how many people wants to rage quit. When you rage quit, the Treasury will drop because we are paying people out from the Treasury of their money. Now, this means when the Treasury goes down, that means the amount the Treasury can make also goes down. They won't make remember we used to make like $2 million a day, right? Now we won't be able to make that much because the treasury is not as much. And they had to stop the treasury from making money. They had to return their liquidity pool and all that stuff so they can pay people out. Now, for that to happen again, for us to start making money again, somebody needs to deploy the capital to work, to put it to work. And now, remember, we don't have a treasury manager. We don't have really a good plan going forward. There's people stepping up, but we don't know. It takes time. So it's kind of like a weird ground right now. Honestly, what I would do right now, I might rage quit. Depends on the backing price. If it's like 30K, I'm like, screw that. I'm not going to quit at 30K because we're trading at 27K right now. If it's close to 40K, I might, even though I'm down like 90%, I might quit at 40%. That's right about the eye of the worm. That's kind of my target. But I'll be really, really surprised if the backing price ends up at 40K. Probably not happening. I'll be really, really surprised. Like extremely surprised. Like what is that? What is the backing price right now on the site? I'll be extremely surprised if it's 40K as the backing price. So this is the dilemma. We'll have to do some thinking. Yeah, the backing price is 35K. So I think we might, but this is with the illiquid asset, right? So without the illiquid asset, we'd be even lower. So yeah, I think the backing price might be at 32K-ish, which is total shit. I don't want that. I don't really want that. By the way, hit the like button, guys. I really love some like button to help me with the algorithm. Appreciate it. But yeah, okay, let's look at the poll results. Whoa, so it looks like a lot of you don't want to rage quit. Okay, that's good indicator of, yeah, I'm leaning towards no now because based on the website calculation, like this is with illiquid, we only have 35K backing. So that means without illiquid asset, it might be like what, 32K, 31K, like total shit. No, I wouldn't quit that way. I'd rather let it ride. I'm like, if I'm down 90%, might as well just ride it to zero. It sucks, but it sucks to say that, but yeah. So if you're optimistic about this project's future, you got new treasure or new people coming in, then I recommend you to stay in. But if you want to just quit and get this over with and just leave, basically sell at like 90% loss, then it's also your choice. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I want you guys to read this and hopefully you guys can make the best decision. And that is it for this heavy news day. We have, geez, the market's getting killed. So I hope you guys have a good day. I really want us to go back to our former glory days. I really want to, when we all have fun making money. But don't worry, a lot of new content is coming, guys. I am doing research on all of these nice all these nice projects. So I hope you guys have a great day and thank you for sticking around.